You're standing at the base of a stone block the size of a small car. It's 2560 BC. There are no trucks. There are no cranes. There is no electricity, no steel cable, not even the wheel being used for heavy transport yet. In about 20 years, you and roughly 20,000 other people are going to stack 2.3 million blocks. A shape so precise that modern engineers still argue about how you pulled it off. This is the story of how humans built the pyramids. Not aliens, not lost civilizations. The Great Pyramid contains an estimated 2.3 million blocks of stone. The average block weighs about 2.5 tons. Some interior granite blocks, hauled 500 miles, weigh as much as 80 tons. The whole structure originally stood 481 feet tall. It held the record for tallest human-made structure on Earth for almost 3,800 years. Nothing beat it until the 1300s. So how do you even start? The first myth to kill is slaves. That image comes from Herodotus, writing 2,000 years after the pyramids were built. In the 1990s, archaeologists found a city south of Giza, complete with bakeries, breweries, dormitories, and a cemetery for the workers. Bakeries produced thousands of loaves of bread per day. Workers were paid partly in bread and beer alongside meat. Skeletons showed healed fractures, broken bones that had been set and cared for. You don't set the broken leg of a person you consider disposable. The evidence points to a rotating labor force of conscripted farmers. For 3 to 4 months a year, floodwaters covered the fields and farmers couldn't farm. This flood season Akhet is when much of the workforce arrived. It wasn't slavery. It was closer to a national service obligation. It may have doubled as one of the largest employment programs in the ancient world. Now let's talk about the stone. Core blocks came from a limestone quarry less than half a mile from the site. Workers used copper chisels and wooden wedges to cut into bedrock. They'd soak dry wooden wedges with water, wood expands, and splits the stone. The white casing stones came from Tura, across the Nile. The granite blocks came from Aswan, 500 miles south. Egypt had something better than wheels, the Nile itself. During flood season, boats carried enormous loads to a harbor near the site. In 2013, archaeologists discovered papyri, the Diary of Merer. Merer describes hauling limestone by boat, trip after trip, logged like a shipping manifest. How do you move a 2.5-ton block across sand? In 2014, physicists tested this with actual sand and sledges. Dry sand builds up in a mound in front of a sledge, creating resistance. Wet sand creates capillary bridges between grains. Friction dropped by half. A tomb painting shows a worker pouring water ahead of a sledge's path. It wasn't ceremonial, it was engineering. Then there's the ramp question, the most argued over detail in pyramid research. A straight ramp would need to be over a mile long. A spiral ramp wraps around the exterior but makes corners hard to keep straight. In 2018, an architect proposed an internal spiral ramp tunneling up inside. Muon scans revealed a previously unknown void deep inside the Great Pyramid. Here's the part nobody talks about. Precision, not just stone. The base is level to within about 2.1 centimeters across 13 acres. The 4 sides are oriented to true north within 1/10 of a degree. They used a plumb bob, water-filled trenches, and star observation. No compass, no GPS, just centuries of accumulated observation passed down. 20,000 workers is a small city with no city yet built to house it. Quarry marks reveal crews organized into gangs like Friends of Khufu. Crews competed, tagging their work the way a construction crew signs a beam today. You need about 20 years, a functioning bureaucracy, and total national commitment. Every worker who built it is anonymous now, but their work is still standing. You're looking at the largest group project in human history, and it's still due.